crucified and risen. This is the last lesson for the quarter.
And we have followed the record that Matthew gives us for the life of Jesus Christ for the past quarter. And let us remind ourselves that Matthew's intention was for the Jewish readers to discover that their redemption is to be found in Jesus, of whom the prophets and the Old Testament spoke. In other words, we must be saved from outside, because we cannot save ourselves. What a revolutionary idea was that at that time. So there is two more things left on Jesus' to-do list before he claims victory: to be crucified and to be risen.
The culmination of everything. Ironically, all the Old Testament was pointing to this moment, yet no one was expecting it. Once again, we are faced with a choice.
Have you heard about the Jesuses that are being tried by the governor Pilate? Jesus Barabbas and Jesus from Nazareth? Who is your pick to be crucified? This could have been a very much possible chit-chat conversation between two unfamiliar Jews in the crowds of Jerusalem.
Come on, this was such a dramatic moment, filled with so much passion. It's amazing that even Pilate thought that this would be a no-brainer. Is this really a choice? But common sense doesn't work here. Against all logic, we tend to make decisions that harm us. We are slaves to sin. And even the choice to choose God is not ours. It's the influence of the Holy Spirit. Jesus had to die so I can get the freedom to choose.
Jesus was crucified, and sometimes we forget that this act in itself was just an added human evil element in the suffering that the Son of God had to bear. It could have been avoided. The cruelty of Christ's death could have been reduced. However, the real agony consuming Christ's heart and soul was expressed in a loud cry on the cross. My God, why have you forsaken me? I guess this is a feeling of abandonment, of heaviness, of darkness that was overwhelming Christ's soul and mind and body. And I'm asking myself, is this what sin really gets me into?
Jesus experienced the judgment. He bore the consequences of sin, and he conquered.
Now, two big events are happening after Jesus takes his last breath. The first one takes place in all the three Gospels, but in John's. The temple veil was torn. How did Matthew learn about it? I don't know, since nobody was allowed in the temple except the priest. But it meant a great deal to the honest worshipper. In one day, all beliefs, the whole world of beliefs crumbled down. The second event was a nature event of darkness, earthquake, splitting of rocks. Out of this fearsome experience came the brightest news ever. Graves were open, and later on, people walk out of them into the streets of Jerusalem and will be witnesses of Jesus being the Messiah. Only Matthew speaks of the opening of the graves.
We don't need the old sacrificial system anymore. It has been fulfilled. Now we have such a high priest in heaven, as we read in Hebrew, who has obtained more excellent ministry, inasmuch as he is also mediator of a better covenant, which was established on better promises. Because of him, we can live.
On the cross, but also on an empty tomb, is what our faith is centered on. And this is how the lesson introduces the next part of the resurrection. And it's so true, because we can not only find forgiveness, but also a promise for a future life. So this is the list of experiences in my life so far. I have met Jesus. Check. I have received forgiveness. Check. What is left for me now is to experience transformation or resurrection in Jesus' style and form. What an exciting future.
The battle for humanity is won by the love, the sacrifice, and the mighty power of God. Our chains, our addictions, our weaknesses, our misery, our ego, everything that is drawing us down, it can go away if we bring it to Jesus. He won the right to forgive and to liberate us. But we have to choose and to spread the news so that others can choose too. It's our responsibility to share. We have been commissioned to share. This is our part in the battle, to share.
After all, we have read Matthew's Gospel and we have met Jesus and we have experienced life with him. So is it worth telling about him? Or probably some of us can write a letter like Matthew did, or some can video blog or Facebook their experience with Jesus. Whatever way, do you feel like it's worth telling others about Jesus?